just a quick check-in here. I'm embarking on a trip, and unfortunately I cannot bring Zoe with me, so I'm about to drop her off with some friends, and she's going to stay with them while I drive to Florida. So yeah, I'm going to. I got to learn to look at where the camera is and not the screen, right? Yeah. Yeah, I'm going down to Florida to help out with disaster relief, and that's what's up. And there's my radio just turned itself on. It likes to do that, so I'm gonna go. I'm about to get on the interstate and head to my friends to drop off Zoe. I'll check in with you later. So it's been less than an hour since I dropped Zoe off with my friends, and Zoe gets along great with their dogs. They're really they're like the extended pack, and these particular friends are like family. So I know that Zoe is in good hands, but I've been on the road for barely half an hour. I haven't even left the state yet, although I'm about to. And boy, it already feels really strange to not have Zoe in the car with me. It even looks strange on the screen to see no dog back there. But the fall foliage here. Fall foliage here is just starting to get good, as I mentioned in the last video, as I was returning from my trip up north to the Adirondacks. I was barely home a day, and now I'm on the road again. I don't think I'm going to do a whole bunch of camping this trip, honestly. But maybe I will. I brought some of my camping stuff, whatever I thought might be useful, also for what I'm going there to do, which is to empty my mother's house of personal belongings before mold abatement people come and gut the place and rebuild it. Oh, I hate when I have to turn off my cruise control. Oh well. So anyway, as I said, I'm enjoying a little bit of fall foliage right here in my relative neck of the woods, so to speak. On my way to Scranton, Pennsylvania on I-84 West. And from here, from Scranton, I will take 81 south, a long way. So I will check in with you guys as I travel north and north. I wish I was going north. So I will check in with you guys as I travel south. Moments away from crossing the border into Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania. For the next hour, we will be driving through the Poconos to Scranton, Pennsylvania. know, I've been driving back and forth from New York to Florida since the 80s. I'm sure I could not count the times I've done it on my fingers, long since. I've done it so many times. My parents were snowbirds, had a place in Florida and in New York, and eventually it got to the point where it was really arduous for them to do the driving, so I did the driving for them for years. And after my father passed, my mother started staying summers with me in Florida, and again, or staying with me in New York summers, and again, I would drive to Florida or fly to Florida and drive her here in her car, and reverse that at the end of the season when she went back to Florida. So yeah, the drive between New York and Florida is one I am very familiar with. I didn't even bother turning on my GPS for this first leg of the trip. I know it so well, driving to Scranton, getting on 81. And I gotta say that every single time that I can recall driving this stretch of interstate, some portion of it has been under major construction. Every single time I've been on it, I mean, maybe I'm not remembering times when it wasn't, but it just seems like this road is perpetually under construction for my entire life. Very weird. I never not encounter construction between the Hudson Valley and Scranton. Oh well, that's my rant. Back to fall foliage. There's a pretty spot somewhere in southern Pennsylvania. Pretty except for the billboards, but hey. People gotta make a living. Live in McDonald's and Loves. I wonder if I can make it through this trip without stopping at a McDonald's at all for any reason. And then maybe if I do, limit it only to using their restroom. We'll see. Goals. Well, this is damn pretty. Not that this trip was about the leaf peeping. Here's some more billboards. Billboard peeping, that's what we're doing. Yeah, if we were going down 95, I could do a whole video on the south of the border billboards, but we're not going that way. Taking 81 to 77. So, we miss all a bunch of bullshit. We miss all of New Jersey. Woohoo! We miss Baltimore, Maryland, and we miss Washington, D.C., and we miss Richmond, Virginia. We miss so many places 95 goes through that we won't have to by going this way. And instead, for the low price of being about 100 miles out of the way, we get to see the Shenandoah Valley, the Pocono Mountains, whatever this area is in Pennsylvania, and yeah, not a bad deal. Definitely always been my preferred way to go. Interstate 95 makes me hate to be alive, which is a play on a Friends lyric. He used to commute between New York and Boston, so he had a song about it. I've bastardized his lyric. Anyway, I can see that the screen is shaking violently, so not the best pavement here to do this drive video. I will spare you any more of the shaking and get back to you later. Entering the Shenandoah Valley in Virginia. Looks pretty nice out there. The sky's pretty. Coming up on some mountains. trucks on the road, but still better than I-95 by far. Much prefer taking this route. Well, if it wasn't for these two trucks blocking the view, you'd have a nice view there of the Blue Ridge Mountains, which I am passing along here. On my left, maybe a better shot would be out the window. So I'm south on 81 in Virginia, cruising past the Blue Ridge Mountains. I've gone up there. It's very pretty. And not far down the road is Blue Ray Cavern, which I've also been to, visited there with my mom. And that's a really great cavern and definitely worth visiting. Although, having been to Carlsbad, I will say that all other caves in the United States pale in comparison. But, unless you're going to New Mexico, around these parts, Blue Ray Cavern is the biggest cavern around, and it is worth stopping to see, which I finally did, and I'm glad. Hope to bring other people to see it someday. It's a very nice spot. I also like to do some hiking and backpacking and camping in the Blue Ridge Mountains. That must be nice. Yeah, I got past those trucks and we actually have a view. Doesn't do it justice, but it's very pretty out here. See some mountains. Hello, my friends. I am southbound on Interstate 95, about to cross from South Carolina into Georgia. This is day 2 of my drive to Florida. I hope to make it as far as I need to today, but how far I need to go is still in question, because I don't know where I'm staying tonight. So I may have to find a room in Tampa or something, and then drive 2 more hours to Fort Myers the following day. So maybe I don't actually get to my mother's house in 2 days, although I have many times. Getting there tonight at 8 or 9 p.m. wouldn't do anybody any good because they can't stay there. It's flood damaged, and there's nowhere around there to stay, because everyone has been displaced, so all the rooms are taken. And so, yeah, where I'm staying actually the whole time I'm down here is sort of in question. We'll figure it out. Anyway, I had a lovely drive through the Shenandoah Valley. I tried to get a few pictures, but really I don't think that the phone's camera captures the view the way I see it. I'm sure it doesn't. It's a lovely drive, and if you have the option to do that instead of 95, I strongly recommend it. My route took me south to, and then, where was I? I guess in North Carolina when I got on 77 through South Carolina. It took me to 26 East, over to 95, and now I'm not far from entering Georgia, and so I will check in with you later in the drive. This This is really nothing to see, but I'll give you a view for a second anyway. Yeah, I think we're a little less than a mile away from the state line now. I had some very delicious Brunswick stew and pulled pork sandwich at the Smoking Pig in Georgia. It was very good, very delicious. Highly recommend it. Don't let that it's attached to a gas station fool you. It's legit. Smoking Pig. And we have arrived in Florida. I couldn't drive all the way down here and not stop when I saw a state forest. All right, where am I going? Campsites, restroom, pavilion. Yeah, let's check that out. Welcome to the Cary State Forest in Florida, which I just happened upon because I noticed the sign and I was driving by and I said, let me stop there. Check it out. So there's a little 1.4 mile nature walk. That's what they're calling this trail here through the woods. So checking out this pine forest. It's beautiful. I'm not gonna lie, walking by a marshy swampland in Florida makes me a little nervous. I don't see any crocodiles, but alligators doesn't mean they're not there. Saw palmettos, that's what those are called. There's lots of them around here. Camera getting this. This has been a lovely walk. It's really, really pretty out here. And just the right amount of distance, just about 1.5 miles. Good length for me to just pump on through and get my heart rate going a little bit, since I've been sitting in the car for hours and hours and hours between yesterday and today. So I'm really glad I found this place. Doesn't seem to be anyone else here. And I'm just low bridge, just walking around the nature trail loop. Lots of birds. This is my incognito look when I'm driving in the south. I hope you'll tune in next week for more about my trip to Florida after Hurricane Ian. Thanks for watching.